episode 1 of the Helmet Bros. We think we're going to be going with that name, but we might change it. Let us know in the comments if we should have a better name for that. Episode 1, we're going to be doing some reviews, and we just got out of the theater, fresh off the press for the movie Weapons. That one was kind of a random gamble. We thought we'd check it out, and I think it looked, it was interesting, to say the least.
I think it was very interesting.
Yeah, definitely a little bit of a surprise.
Oh yeah, definitely. I didn't watch any reviews or, what should we call it, a commercials for it, right? We just walked straight in. Didn't even see any reviews for it. We went in, and let me tell you, it was different.
Yeah.
It's definitely different.
Yeah. And real quick, guys, we're going to be doing, this will be a spoiler alert, so anyone that doesn't want to see, watch this afterwards, after you see the movie, that's fine, but we will be dropping spoilers. But by the end of this, we'll give you a rating 1 out of 10, and let you know what we thought about it, and we'll go from there. Would you like to go first?
Yeah,
go for
let's go first. I'm Crusader, by the way. This is Frost, you already know. We're the Helmet Bros, or, like you said, you vote for something else. We're all for it, man. I'd like to say that this movie, though, is a horror film, and
I'd say it's more of a horror thriller, actually. And just a reminder, this movie is called Weapons, so you automatically think that there's going to be guns and it's not
guns or some sort of violence of that nature, of some kind of gun warfare, right? Weapons. And it's completely the absolute opposite. Right from the jump, they're going to catch you off guard. I mean, it starts, they don't even show their faces in the beginning. It's just about behind the scenes of kind of what's going on, and then they jump you right into the story after what happens in the beginning.
The original thing that attracted me is, I'm sure a lot of you've seen the movie, the TV show Ozark. The girl actor, I don't know her name, but she was in it. I saw a snippet of the trailer, and as soon as I saw that, I was like, okay, if she's in it, she's starting to take off a little bit. She's getting kind of hot, and I saw her, and she's a pretty good actress, and when I saw her in the trailer, I was like, okay, I need to see this.
Yeah, you can't really go wrong with her acting. She kind of, after seeing Ozark, I kind of became a fan for her anyway, so anything, she does. I haven't seen Wolf yet, so that'll be another review we'll have to do, is The Wolfman. Maybe that'll be our next one. You let us know in the comments below on that one.
Yeah. But anyways, let's dive right into the movie Weapons. It starts out, and again, this will be spoilers. And it's I wouldn't call it just horror, it's a thriller, scary thriller, I'd call it. It starts out a little bit slow. It's one of those movies where it splits off into multiple characters, point of views. It's gonna split off into like maybe 5 different characters, point of views of the entire story. But basically, it starts out with some school in the middle of some podunk town where a bunch of kids just disappear out of the middle of nowhere, and only one kid is left, and he's interrogated by the FBI, the police. Everyone's trying to interrogate this kid. The kid knows nothing. This is like a 3rd, 4th grade class, and then the teacher of that class is being interrogated to death. Whole town's upset. It's been like a month later. They start school back up. They start with the first point of view of the girl teacher. Everyone hates her. She thinks everyone's out to basically kill her.
Yeah.
And dives right into her story. She getting her car tagged. People painting on it with witch on it. She's having nightmares of the incident. And she's basically going through hell with the stress of dealing with this. The principal tells her, hey, you just need to stay out. You just need to take some time off. Let the town cool down or whatever. And, she's getting knocks at the door. She thinks someone's about to kill her, break into her house.
Yeah, she's starting to get paranoid, She thinks the whole town's out together, basically. And that's pretty much where kind of getting picked up right away. That's the beginning of the story. Everyone hates her. The kids are missing. We gotta figure out what's going on around here, right?
Yeah.
So,
pretty much. Once you start to dive into her, and then all of a sudden it'll cut off in the middle of the movie to another character. Like, oh, what's going on? It'll jump to the police officers, to the principals, to even a drug addict. And again, I didn't really know what to expect from this movie. It started off slow at first, but it still kept me.
Let me just say real quick, they started Naruto running. I don't know what that was all about, but let me just say, all the kids start Naruto running, and I was hooked. I was like, what is going on? Where are they running off to?
In the beginning, they're trying to figure out. They show clips of like people's ring door cameras showing the kids running. Before the kids get abducted, they have cameras of the kids running out of the house at like 2 a.m. It's midnight. Everyone's tired. Everyone's asleep. But the kids disappear by 2:17, like in the morning. And they're all. If you ever watch that show Naruto, I guess they're Naruto running with their hands behind them, like a cartoon. So it's almost comical to see these little kids running like that. It's hard to take the movie seriously. At first, it makes you laugh. It's supposed to be a thriller. I think I don't know if they like purposely did that to like make make it comical. But I just started laughing that they were like running like that, like they're charging. They just had to have their arms behind them, charging like Naruto, running at them. But anyways, all the Ring Door dash cameras catch them running like Naruto, and they disappear. And it's taking forever for some of the parents to try and investigate where they went, all this stuff.
Yeah, the police aren't really trying too hard either. I mean, it's just, it goes into the account now the teacher that's been getting picked on around town, she starts going to wonder what's going on because she's obviously playing victim now. And, so what she started doing? She starts looking for that little kid that was last in the class, right? She goes looking around. Next thing she knows, she finds out where they're all at, And then, next thing you know, spoiler alert, come to find out the parents aren't so normal after all. They got them sitting on the couch looking stare dead, like a science project.
Yeah, well, I'm jumping ahead a little bit here. For reference, once we dive into some of the characters, you'll see that you start following the characters a lot, and then it starts splitting off into other people's characters. Anyways, jump forward. The parents discover which house is like holding the kids that are being held hostage. One of the characters is some drug addict who's shooting up with needles and doing meth in the forest.
Yeah, there's multiple point of views. It's all the same story. It's going to be the same story, but in different points of view. So don't be alarmed when you're watching. You're like, hey, who's this person now? It's all the same story, just a different time of that story through different eyes.
Yep.
So I thought that was interesting about the movie. That's what kept me interested even more. It's like, wow, okay, now we're getting another slice of the pie. How that person ties into the story.
Yeah. But anyways, we have this like 25-year-old drug addict dropout. He's kind of, he's throwing a wrench into this whole thing with him. One of the characters is a police officer, chases him down, pats the guy down, asks him if he has any needles, and then the officer gets poked. The drug addict doesn't even know if he has AIDS, doesn't know if he has herpes, doesn't know if he has hepatitis anything. He's just, a drug addict. The officer pats him down, gets in his pocket, gets hit with a needle, like the worst thing that could happen when, trying to to search somebody, and then the officer decks him in the face. Which is a real reaction. I think I would do the same. If you're a cop and you search somebody, you get poked with a needle. You don't even know what's on that needle. It's used, obviously. He's a drug addict. I would probably freak out, and my instant reaction would be punching him in the face. And then the cop freaks out. He, gets to his car, his police car, and realizes he just recorded the whole thing of punching this drug addict, which, that would have been like police brutality. He would have lost his job, and, we know how that goes with like all the BLM riots, and,
But after all that, so basically, the town starts figuring out what's really going on. There's this house out there, these certain characters, like the teacher, the police officer, the crackhead, all these characters with their point of views are starting to figure out, they're all tied to this house now that is governing basically where all the kids are at. And
the funny part is that this drug addict winds up, it's raining, he needs to find a place to hide out, and he's just trying to get out of the rain. He finds the one house that he could tell is abandoned. The grass is overgrown. There's
looks
paper.
abandoned.
Yeah, it looks abandoned. There's paper.
All the windows.
He finds a way to break in. Starts scavenging the house, and starts opening everything. Tries to steal. And then all of a sudden he notices like a Nintendo in the corner. Goes to pick it up,
and then boom, he sees two people sitting on the couch right behind him, but they don't even move.
He's like wigging out. He probably thinks he's on drugs still. He's like, whoa.
Alright, he freaked out.
They're not even moving.
He freaked out. He starts apologizing, all this stuff. But they weren't moving. They weren't clicking. They were sitting still. And he's like, well, I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing.
Yeah, for some reason, if I'm a drug I get if I'm homeless, and I'm like probably, if I have nothing to lose, I'm going to break into a house, start stealing stuff. But as soon as I see somebody in there, I don't even care if, as soon as I see somebody, I'm out. I'm not, if they're just sitting still, I'd be freaked out. Like, I got
I'm going to have to go check. Oh, they're okay.
Yeah, for some reason, he still feels in me like, they're just staring.
Yeah,
so I'm just going to keep stealing
around the world, I guess.
As they watch me, either he must have been drugged out, not having a care in the world, like, they're not doing nothing. I'm high right now. I have no care in the world. So that's the only way I can comprehend why he just kept going. And then he ends up, he just can't help himself. He just has to keep exploring. He ends up finding the basement door, goes down there, sees children. He's like, oh my God.
Sees all the kids.
Yeah, all the kids that are missing. He doesn't realize that yet, but he just sees kids trapped in a basement, just standing there.
All standing there, staring at the wall on the back.
Yeah, he freaks out.
In a dark basement. No lights, no nothing to play with, just an empty basement. And he then runs into you-know-who, and becomes...
Yeah, he freaks out. He
runs for it.
Yeah, he panics. He starts trying to, shuffle all his, all the jewelry and stuff into his pillow. Then all of a sudden, the second he saw them, that's when the frozen parents that are just sitting on the couch all of a sudden become activated. They stand up, start walking towards the drug addict like they're going to do something, but he manages to escape barely by running out the house, and he goes to a pawn shop to sell off the goods because he's trying to get his next fix and high, and he sees a sign that says, there's a $50,000 reward to find these children. I saw that. So he just saw dollar signs the second he saw that. Tries to go to the police department, but the police officer that turned off his police camera, notices him, and he, basically warned him to, not come. So he scares him off. The drug addict runs away. Ends up running back back to his meth camp again, and then the story continues. Then it just continues to cut off to the next character, to the next character, to the next character.
Yeah, it's all tied in, and at the end of it all, it turns out it all started with it goes to the very last point of view, which starts with the family, basically, or at least the point of view of the kid, right? The last kid, it goes to his last point of view, how it all started, and it all started with their aunt visiting an aunt, so they knew a person was coming over, right? But they didn't really know her too well. It's been apparently years and years, like 15 years or something like that, right? But apparently, she's into some voodoo magic. Yeah, apparently she's been clipping people's hairs and taking items from people and basically using them into a voodoo ritual spell that turns them into a weapon, basically. So whoever she clips the hair of, she wraps around a little sticky thorn and she pricks her thumb with blood, and she puts it all down this little stick, and then she snaps it with the hair tied to it, and then whoever she had control of automatically went to go get that target like a weapon. Whether it means to chase him down or choke him out, punch him to death, headbutt them to death, they are the weapon. We are the weapon, basically. That's what we were trying to say earlier, is like, there's no guns, we are the weapon, the humans.
And the movie strings you along, like you're still interested, but then it really gets, elevated the second she has her first victim. That's, finally jumps into the, really escalates the scenario when her first victim is the principal of the school. She goes and visits the principal because the principal is looking for the child's guardians,
which she already put under spell.
Yeah.
She turned them into voodoo dolls, basically scared the little boy, says, if you don't do what I tell you, I can make them hurt themselves. I can make them eat themselves. I can make them do things that you don't want them to do, basically. And she gave an example. We won't go into too much of that, but she gave an example. And he listened real quick after that. Go ahead.
It's funny. The witch lady goes to the principal's home, which happens to be a gay couple, and they both answer the door. The principal's like, no, it's the weekend, I'm just gonna deal with the parents. And the lady insists, she's like, oh, I'm having coughing problems, kind of wiggles her way into the house. The principal's husband or boyfriend is like, oh no, come in, we're gonna get you some water. They get to the kitchen, she's like, oh, I need a dog bowl to drink water around here. I need a dog bowl to be drinking around here. And he obliges. They're kind of weird. They're like, okay, that's kind of odd. What, you drink out of a dog bowl for your consumption?
Yeah, she's into some weird stuff. Yeah, she has a plant she carried with her too, kind of resembled how she was, because she came into this whole situation. This old lady, this old family member of this family came in, and she was like looking like she was on her deathbed. She had like one strand of hair left, and very frail when they brought her in. And then the second she started putting on people under her voodoo spells, which I'm still trying to understand, is that she was somehow getting their youthful essence to keep her young. And honestly, I started noticing that her hair started growing back. So I don't know what kind of supernatural thing, but she had like a plant that kind of resembled that, where she was kind of like a bowl of water you would give to a plant to give it life. She was kind of like using that essence as well from the kids that she had in the basement, and that was interesting. That she was somehow gaining their youth to stay alive longer and regenerate.
Yeah, but she just openly, gets the principal's hair. I don't know how she did that, but she has the principal's hair, and
she took the ribbon. So basically, to make a weapon, you take something that is theirs to make a weapon, right? That's going to be your weapon. And then what you want the weapon to attach back, you take the hair of. So who you want to control, you take like a button or something of theirs, right? And then you cut the hair of whoever you want them to hurt. And then you tie their ribbon or whatever you took of theirs onto the same stick of the hair that's tied on there. And you prick your thumb, and then you wipe it all down, and you break the stick, and boom, that's a spell. It's a voodoo trick.
Yeah, and both the principal and his lover both standing there like, what's going on? And she's just like cutting her hand in front of them. Some like black, poison ivy tree branch that she's just cutting herself, and she's just talking normally. She's not shy about this. She's like, oh, I'm just gonna do it right in front of them. Which I thought was a little too late. She didn't even have the principal's husband's hair yet. She's just like, oh no, what am I doing? Oh, can someone give me a Band-Aid? Like, she's just way too casual about it. What if she wasn't able to get that, the principal's boyfriend's hair before she did that? Because she was doing it to get control. Yeah, she had some ribbon of the principal, got control of him by, as soon as once she cut herself, wrapped the hair around, or the ribbon, she, like, rings a bell, all of a sudden, because he was trying to call the cops, and he stops. As soon as she rings the bell, he's under control, and I was just standing there. Then she's like, before that, she was trying to get help from the principal's boyfriend, gets his hair by snipping it real quick, and he's like, what's going on? She just ripped my hair.
Under spell, has the principal basically kill his boyfriend, lover, or husband right in front of him. Like, he's under spell. He's not him anymore. He has now become a weapon after she snaps her little spell stick. And then she sends his ass out to go get the teacher. And he runs about like 100 miles, 50 miles.
Yeah, after
his face was starting to fall off because he was running pure speed straight, didn't stop for breathe or water.
Well, yeah, after she made, voodooed the principal to kill his boyfriend, the principal's basically just bashing his head, using his own head as a weapon, a melee weapon. After he puked his black puke all over him, but he was basically bashing his face. He bashed the other guy's face in, which got to the point where, I think that's the point where the principal's eyes were like bulging out. It almost looked cartoony. The eyes were like, it looked like they were about to bulge out. Either with the combination of the speed running through downtown, but after the voodoo got the principal's boyfriend dead, she, early in the movie, got a piece of the hair of the principal that she once killed, for whatever reason. That wasn't even really explained. She's just like, well, I want that one dead next, which maybe because she knew that she was, catching on and, still trying to figure out what happened or whatever. If it was me, if I'm the witch, I would have left the principal alive.
No. The witch, whoever went to that house, she attacked immediately. All she wanted was those kids to herself. She wanted the kids.
At this part, the teacher did not go to that house yet.
No, it's because the teacher was going to send people to the house, though. He was going to send the police and the child services to check up on the kid because she wasn't letting him see the guardians.
Right. Yeah,
they were sick.
But if I'm the voodoo lady, I would have kept her alive because I realized the whole town hates the teacher because she's the teacher of the entire third or fourth grade class was missing, and she was the teacher. And it was her class.
The police station. And like you said, she was trying to clear her name. She was a pest.
Yeah, but she was a pest to the whole entire city.
Right.
I would have, maybe she would have got on.
As a teacher, I'd probably leave town, honestly. Start a new life, especially if I knew I didn't do it. Or if I did do it, regardless, you want to get out of town, right? You're not going to stick around for that.
Yeah.
But then again, it shows that you are innocent, though, I guess, right? Because you're sticking around for the noise. So, it's a movie. It's what movies do, right? Keep you watching.
Yeah, that's a good point. I guess she knew she was going to catch on and want to keep checking that house where that kid was.
Even though that house full of newspaper that that window. That's
Yeah.
you got a bunch of newspaper.
Yeah, one way to not bring attention to my house is let's put newspaper all over the windows. Let's just put newspapers all over the windows, block it out.
Well, they had enough of it when they kept grabbing the newspapers from the mailboy on the driveway. They had about 10 stacks of them because they never picked them up after they were done doing the cover up.
Yeah, the voodoo witch lady is not as, she has powers, I guess, but she's not that smart. I don't know why she didn't realize, like, hey, let's keep this place up. Let's make it look like it's lively, it's being kept up, like people live here. But no, they let the grass grow out, they put newspaper over the windows, they're having, the mailboy's mail is, like, overflowing all over the driveway, and it just looks a little suspicious. If I needed to know my neighbors, like, oh, they keep their place nice, and all of a sudden it just starts to look like it's getting run down out of nowhere, then that's just looking a little suspicious, for me. So I thought that was a little, like, come on. But anyways, after all that shenanigans, the lady sends the principal to go kill the teacher, and she's just at a gas station. She's being heckled by one of the parents, and she's like, oh, well, that's the principal. That's Principal Mackey or whatever his name is. And he's just running like a Naruto runner. That part I just burst out laughing because I thought it was so funny. He's just running in the middle of the daylight. It wasn't even like trying to make it scary. It was middle of the day. He's just sprinting through town, coming after the teacher of the fourth grade, and she just stands there, gives him plenty of time to go choke her out, because he just goes straight for her, beams past the pesky parent that's badgering her, tackles her. She manages to crawl out under her car and runs inside the 7-Eleven, and the zombie principal, the Naruto zombie principal, has no concern for anyone else. Even if someone's trying to stop him, he's just like, as long as I can get to her, I'm going to push anyone out of my way and just go bolt. I'm not going to try and kill anyone. I just want to kill her. That was his goal. He didn't even care how he was going to do it. His sole purpose was terminate her as soon as possible, because he was going full spree. He probably went through the entire town, sprinting at, running at 15 miles an hour, not losing a single bit of breath. So that was a pretty exciting. That definitely locked me in pretty good. Watching her try to escape the principal. She manages to get to her car, drives through town, gets out. The principal, even though she's driving, she has the speed of a car. He's gonna just keep chasing her till the end of time. Which is one creepy thing where the Naruto zombie just knew exactly where she was. So even if she, drove across the planet, he's just gonna keep going. So he just needed to die. Anyways, yeah. So the principal gets, is chasing her down, gets hit by a car. He's done for. On to the next. Yeah. And what happens after that?
The elves end up basically back at that house to finish it all off, and the little boy ends up basically learning the tricks of the old granny that came to visit and uses that voodoo against her, basically. Because basically everything was going all her way. She had everyone being possessed. Everyone that knew about the house was possessed. Even the teacher was about to become possessed. She was the very last victim until the little boy locked himself away into a bathroom, because even his parents turned against him because the boy went against the rule of going past the chalk line, where the spells were at. And he went back to the rule, grabbed the voodoo items to basically take the kids and use the kids to go get the voodoo lady grandma. basically the weapon lady, or if you want to call her that. And next thing you know, you got 20, 21 kids or so that were missing. Chasing her down the streets, and then you have a whole montage of the whole town, folks, basically seeing this old grandma running down the street, and then all of a sudden the kids that have been missing this whole time chasing her. And it's like a whole montage of the whole town basically seeing this whole thing happen at the same time. They're like, what the heck? What is going on around here?
That was my favorite part. I will say the ending is probably the best part of the witch lady.
For that.
Yeah, the witch lady finally has it turned around to her where the spells now are reversed under her, and now she's the one that has to run. And the same with these kids, they turn to Naruto runners, and they don't care what's in their path. They don't care if it's a brick wall. They don't care if it's glass. They will bash their heads.
All those kids became weapons. Yeah. That old lady was using them as like some kind of useful spell. The kid that was left over from the classroom broke it to use them as weapons on her.
Yeah. And this ending is brutal. The kids eventually get to her, and they just shred her to pieces. I think they probably split her in several pieces, ripping her. You know, they look like I thought they were eating her, but they were just ripping her apart,
shredding her.
Yeah, I mean, they started to split her mouth open.
You really think a kid can do what a kid can do, but when you get a whole pack of them like that in weapon mode.
Yeah, I didn't want the last part to end. The ending was the best part. I was like, I just wanted it to keep going, where she was just roaming through the town, getting chased by all these Naruto kids. So I was having such a good time, but it ended so quick. It ended faster than I wanted to, but it was a good ending.
Alright, well, Frost, what do you think your review would be then?
Yeah, so to wrap it up, sorry, that was probably a long-winded review, but to wrap it up, I would probably give it a... I'd say I'll probably give it a 7.9. It was surprisingly better than I thought. I thought it would be good, but it was like, okay, I'm getting a 7.9. I think that's a solid 7.9. It had its really good moments. Some parts were a little bit longer than it needed. Some parts were unnecessary, but it had me hooked, paying attention. I wasn't, passing out or anything. How about you, Seder?
I would give it, I would say, it definitely captivated me the whole time. I'll give it 8.
Really? Okay.
8.4.
Okay.
Only because, to me it was fresh. I'd never seen anything like it before. I did like the point of view aspect of it, of all the characters, and it was on pace the whole time. It never really got too boring. Every scene kind of was like, kept you in it, and I loved it. It was good. I watched it again.
Yeah, I would recommend, if you go see it, do not watch the trailer. Just watch it.
Yeah, don't watch the trailer.
Surprised. So you're like, okay, what am I walking into? What is going on? Because we had some friends with us. They didn't see the trailer. They had no idea. They were happy that they didn't see the trailer. They're just like, what are we watching? What's going on? And then they just got sucked in just like that. So it was pretty good. But I think that's all I got. If you guys want to comment, like, subscribe, let us know how we did the review, if it was okay, if we could make it better, if you have any name suggestions for us.
Yeah, definitely drop it down below for sure. And hit the like bell and subscribe button as well. Get us started up, man. We really appreciate it. Helmet Bros.
Yes, sir. Until next episode, guys. Thank you very much.